right, this is how you do checkpoint 1. Lily bought 50 marbles. The color of the marbles are recorded in the table. So here's the table. Which graph represents the table? Well, in order to do the table, we don't just pick one, we have to make our own table and match it. So the first thing I want to do before we look at is we want to look at the table. We look at the table, we have black, yellow, green, red, and white. But what they forgot is to put the total column. So we need to put the total. How do we find the total? Well, we count them. Now, it already told us the total right here, but we're going to make sure. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So the total is 50. All right. Now, we need to make a fraction with each one of those. So on your paper, give yourself room. You're going to write black, yellow, green, red, and white. And you're going to write the fraction, and we're going to show some work. You're going to be doing this on paper. I'm doing this on the screen, but you won't have this in Kami. So black was 15 out of 50. Yellow is 10 out of 50. Green is 12 out of 50. Red is 5 out of 50. And white is 8 out of 50. All right. Now, if we look at our table, everything is in percents. So we have to turn this into a percent. Like we've practiced, it has to equal 100. So each one of these make them equal 100. This is how we're going to find our percent. Okay, now I'm going to use a different color, red. All right, so 15 out of 50. 50 times what is 100? Times 2. 15 times 2 is 30. That means black is 30%. Now, 50 times 2 is still 100, so this is also going to be times 2. 10 times 2 is 20, 20%. Again, times 2. 12 times 2 is 24, 24%. 50 times 2 is still 100. 5 times 2 is 10, 10%. 50 times 2 is 100. 8 times 2 is 16. That means 16% because we have to make it out of 100. So now we're going to go up here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We're going to look at this. It's wanting you to put this on a bar graph table and pick which bar graph represents this. So now that we have the percents, we can make our table. So you're going to draw your table that we've been learning about and divide it into 10 parts by drawing 9 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I kind of ran out of room. 9. Make sure that's 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Now we're going to do our percent. 10, because each part represents 10%. Remember, you can pause the video at any time so you can write this out. Now, how do I know how much each part represents? How do I know this bar graph is representing 50? Well, I can divide 50, like we practiced, by how many parts? 10. 50 divided by 10. What is 50 divided by 10? 5. So that means each part equals 5. So if we wanted to know how many people, we would count the 5s. If we want to know the percent, we count the bottom. So the 5s are the whole numbers and the bottom numbers are the percent. That's why I have you write this. Now we can label it. So I'm going to use a different color for each one. So for black, it's 30%. So we don't have black here, so I'll use this, okay? 30%. So we're not counting the 5s, we're counting the percent. And we have to count by 10s. So 10, 20, 30. And we said that is black. So let's label that black. The next one is yellow, which is 20%. So I'm going to use yellow. Now, that does not mean it's right here at 20%. We have to count by tens from the end. We don't say 10, 20, that's yellow. No, 10, 20. Because remember, we're counting the percent, not the fives. And that's yellow. Now, green says 24%. I'm going to do that last because it has a 4 in it. I want to do all the easy ones first. So let's do red. Red is 10%. So it's not 5, 10. We're counting the percent. It's 10. This is 10%. So this is red. And write a R. Now let's go back and do the others. So green was 24%. So 10, 20. Half of 10 is 5, so a little bit over here. That would be 24% for green. Because half of 10 is 5, and a little bit over would be 24%. And then white was 16%. Is that accurate? 10, 15, one more, 16%? Yes. We don't have white, so I'm just going to use this light blue. And that's white. Now notice I have no pieces left over. Nothing left over. I shouldn't. If I have something left over, I did something wrong. So now that you know that, you can match which graph represents the table. Which one looks most like yours? Now remember, we did ours out of order. It looks like they did the order of the graph. Black, yellow, green, red, white. We did black, yellow, red, green, white. But it's still the same thing. Okay? So make sure you pick the table that looks most like yours with nothing left over here. There shouldn't be anything left over. And that's how you do checkpoint 1. Make sure you click your answer and submit.